It's week 4 of taking my life back. Thought it would be nice to do a little midweek check-in and a little midweek motivation. I say to myself, okay, you're going in the hot zone. You need to be good. Don't look at anything around you. Have your blinders on. Go straight to the water. Fill up your water and keep the blinders on until you're out of the hot zone. I'm Karyn and I'm on day 26 as I record this, but when you see this, it'll be day 27 of the Carnivore Diet. I'm almost to 30. I'm so excited for next weekend. Next weekend I'll be doing measurements and I'll be taking some comparison pictures to my before pictures and we'll see how I'm doing. And I want to give a shout out to all of you that have been commenting on my videos. I've never had such a good time replying to comments in my life. There's so many of you that have so many good suggestions. There are those of you that have come out and said, hey, I just started the Carnivore Diet too, or I'm thinking about starting it, or I've been on it and I lost 100 pounds. It's just so encouraging and so motivational to see those. And I'm really happy that you're commenting and encouraging me. I do have to mention one comment because it literally made me laugh out loud. And Sarah, I hope this is okay, but I have to share your sardine story. So Sarah commented that she was doing a sardine challenge on another channel where you just eat sardines, I think it was for 30 days. And she found out she hates sardines. So she had a copper bracelet made that says, if hungry, eat sardines. And then she put the sardines in her refrigerator for like a month in a bowl or something, getting all moldy and everything, so that every time she opened the refrigerator, she could have a little chuckle and look at those sardines and be like, you know, an instant hunger check. If I'm hungry and I have to eat a sardine, maybe I'm not that hungry. So thank you for sharing that story, Sarah. And yes, I may use that. But also it would be a good idea if there's something else that just repulses you food-wise to put that in the fridge and just stare at it every time you open the refrigerator door. Before I get started telling you about my last couple of days and then talking about maybe a couple motivational type things, this is a grocery alert. If you are anywhere near a Fairway grocery store, this week they have farmland thick cut bacon on sale at super rock bottom $2.99 for a pound of farmland thick cut hickory smoked bacon. And it is delicious. It's my favorite bacon. So take a look around you. If you've got one nearby, there's a limit of 4, but you could go every day and get 4. And in fact, Dan is going every day to Fairway this week and picking up 4 packages of bacon for us. So get in on that sale if you can. So this week I have taken to heart some of the suggestions that you gave me from my Saturday video and from some of the past videos. One of the things that I'm doing is I'm walking more. I had been talking about how I have inflammation in my lower legs, and because I have a desk job, it's difficult to leave my desk for any length of time and go on a long walk or something. So I've been doing short walks. So this week, yesterday I did 2 walks, and today I did 3 walks at work. Just getting up and going and walking for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And I feel like that's helping a little bit. So thank you for those of you that suggested doing some more walking. And then if you know kind of what my plan is, I was going to combine this with this carnivore diet with intermittent fasting. Doing like an 18-6. 18 hours of not eating, 6 hours of a window where I can eat, but only eating 2 meals. Well, because of the inflammation issue in my lower legs, what I thought I would do is do a 24-hour fast once or twice this week, just to kind of reset everything, and then slowly add back in things to see what is causing this or what might be affecting this. So I'm just coming off of a 24-hour fast, so I'm going to be going and fixing something to eat here as soon as I'm done recording, because I'm a little hungry. But I want to share with you what happened to me yesterday. Now, I have read in your comments and kind of seen before about cheese and dairy and that stalling your weight loss. And I noticed something yesterday that was odd. So yesterday, I hadn't had any dairy, well, except for butter. Butter's a little bit different. It's not as bad as like milk or half and half or, cheese or something like that. But I noticed yesterday when I went to get an afternoon cup of coffee after I ate at lunchtime at work, and then I usually put, when I'm at work, like a tablespoon of heavy cream. It's kind of a little treat, a little pick-me-up is how I think of it. But yesterday, I was feeling great all morning. I got all this walking in. The walking was easy. It felt good. I felt like I had energy, and I was really cruising through it yesterday morning. Then in the afternoon, when I had my coffee with the heavy cream in it, after like an hour or two, I started feeling really sluggish and my legs started getting tight. So I think that I may have an idea of at least one of the main components of what is causing my inflammation. So I've been having, every now and then having cheese, but a lot of times having heavy cream in my coffee in the afternoon, like every day. So now it just has me wondering, am I one of those people that can't or shouldn't have the dairy because of what it does to my body? So I'm going to do my little experiment. I'm not going to have any heavy cream or cheese or dairy other than butter this week. I'm going to see where I'm at on Saturday, and then I'm just going to do a little experiment just to see what happens if I have then some heavy cream in my coffee, because then I will know. When I'm at work, it's sometimes really hard, and even then sometimes at home, because Dan is ketovore, I'm carnivore, but I think Dan is leaning more toward carnivore. But anyway, I also have a daughter who's home from college right now, and she's neither of those things. So there's always food around that I shouldn't be eating. At work, everybody celebrates everything with food. And it's usually like cake or donuts or, sometimes they just decide to have a food day and everybody brings in something that isn't on the carnivore diet. Well, where I sit at work, the counter right to the right of me, and all I have to do is look over there. It's literally like 5 feet from my desk. That's where they set all of the food. Well, I moved that area so that it was behind me so that I couldn't see it. But that stuff is there all the time by me at work. And when I go to the coffee shop to get a cup of black coffee, right in front of me, donuts, pastries, freshly baked cookies, and you can smell the cookies. So what I want to talk about today is hot zones. I call them the hot zones. Like when I'm going to the cafeteria just to get my glass of ice water that I need to drink, I say to myself, okay, you're going in the hot zone. You need to be good. Don't look at anything around you. Have your blinders on. Go straight to the water. Fill up your water and keep the blinders on until you're out of the hot zone. I literally tell myself that. So the cafeteria at work is a hot zone. The coffee shop is a hot zone. And literally right by me is a hot zone. So what I've been doing is trying to retrain my brain So these cravings, they get embedded up here, and you literally have to redo your internal dialogue. And I know that the sugar and the cravings are in there. The other night, we were watching television, and on television, they showed some of those sour gummy worms. And Dan was like, my mouth is salivating. I'm literally salivating because I saw those sour gummy worms. He said, it makes me realize I'm an addict. And you know what? Most of the American population are addicts. They're addicts to the processed foods and the sugars. So you're not going to get away from them ever. The only thing you can do is retrain your thinking to think about them differently. So what I've been telling myself, whenever I see one of those foods and I start to think, oh, that looks so good, right when I start to think about it, I tell myself, look at that poison. This is the kind of food that got you where you are today, that has run roughshod over your health for decades. I'm so glad I'm not eating that anymore. And that has been helping me. I would be really interested to learn, what do you do in a hot zone? What are some of the tricks you have for when you can't avoid a hot zone? And people around you don't understand the addiction that you now realize you have, but they don't realize that they have. So you have to be on your guard. You have to have phrases in your mind to say to people. So if someone, offers you a cookie and you say, oh, that's really nice of you, but no thanks, I'm not eating sugar right now. You don't have to go into a whole spiel about the carnivore diet and, oh my God, you shouldn't be eating that. We cannot be judgmental, but we need to lead by example. We need to be an example of a way of eating that promotes optimal health. When you see someone who's lost a lot of weight, what's the first thing you do? You say, well, you've lost some weight. What are you doing? I want to get to that point. I want to get to that point so that I can gently introduce people to the carnivore diet and what it is and how it can help people's health. Not just losing weight, but get to that optimal health. Now, I have a final motivational thought coming up, but first, let me share with you some of the things I've been eating the last couple of days. Sunday, I made a rotisserie chicken. I used some of the Slap Your Mama spice on it. I love that name. But it's a clean spice. It doesn't have a lot of nasty in it. And it was delicious. Had just a little bit of heat kick on the end, on the back end. But it was really good. So Dan and I split this little chicken and we had some bacon with it. And I want to ask you, how do you cook your bacon? Bacon seems to be a staple of the carnivore diet, and I love bacon. What I've been doing is taking cookie sheets, lining them with like a heavy foil, laying my bacon on it, and baking it at like 420 degrees for 20 minutes. And it seems to come out, right up pretty good. And I suppose it depends on the thickness of your bacon. So like, I guess I would say 15 to 20 minutes because it really does depend on the thickness. But then that way also, if I'm careful when I'm taking the bacon off and don't poke a hole in the foil, I can use the foil as like a little funnel and funnel off all of that bacon grease that I can use then to fry steaks or fry hamburger in. When in the past I would have put an oil in, I can use bacon grease instead. So how do you cook your bacon? Now I just want to give a final thought to you, something to chew on for the rest of the week and maybe motivate you. Time is going to pass no matter whether you work on your health plan or weight loss or not. 1 year from now, are you going to be saying, gosh, I wish I would have started that, or I wish I would have stuck with that. I wonder where I'd be now. And are you going to be beating yourself up in a year? Or in 1 year's time, are you going to be starting to live or living your best life? The clock is always running. Don't spend another year of your life regretting what you could have done or might have done, or regretting not starting what you know you should do. And I'm going to leave you with that thought. You think about it, motivate yourself. You can do it. Let's keep each other not just accountable, but let's keep each other motivated. I will see you on Saturday and post a video of my comparison pictures and tell you, hopefully, that I've lost some inches. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you Saturday.